Welcome back to Bullshit Creepypasta Storytime, where the title is self-explanatory, but hey, it's been a while, or it feels like it has been a very long time since I've made a video, so it's good to get back into the battlefield that is terrible stories about video games. And with this in mind, let's hop into the subject at hand because, spoiler, I found a shitty story for you guys, because I love you. So today on Bullshit Creepypasta Storytime, I laid down a sick tale called Pokemon Wounded Silver. Now, I did say this story was shitty, and it is, but I get this weird vibe that it might be intentionally shitty. I can't prove that, but ever since I talked about Star Fox 6664, a story that was apparently made specifically for this segment, I've been really paranoid that I'm not finding legitimately stupid shit, and I don't dig that. So hey, if you do write a story for this, don't tell me. You're gonna ruin everything! And with that, let's begin our story. Pokemon Wounded Silver follows some dude. And I'm gonna have to read some of this from the first-hand perspective, so please bear with me. I used to play Pokemon as a kid. After the years and aging... Oh, I'm sorry, egging. Christ. My love was outgrown. I desperately wanted to play the game. Years after, but I was too lazy. Or, as I would say, busy. And weren't we all busy? God knows the process of turning on a Game Boy is such a long and tedious one. I don't even want to think about what would happen if batteries were dead. But one afternoon, I was pulling out my driveway. Only to a snapping crunch of one of my wheels. Confused, which yes, I am. And to my surprise, Pokemon Silver in caps to really drive the point home. Now you understand. It was all in great condition though. No scratches, no damage, nothing. You ran it over with a car. / pulled your driveway out onto it. But you know, it's doing fine. What's the cartridge made of? But he tossed it into the glove box. Yes, by all means, continue to abuse this poor game. And as he did so, he felt the cold and nervous sweat on his brow. Life is very dramatic for this person. Also, we switched to third person mid-paragraph, so this is going great. After the day, he scavenged his old Game Boy and, trembling, put the game in it. ... dead. Period. He still decided to turn it on. Simple incense, which, you know, incense smell great, but they're not batteries, so I don't know what you're doing with them. But the Game Boy turned on. Spooky stuff. Scary ghost batteries. Or I don't fucking know, man. The little battery indicator flashed red and green. Great. The story's gonna start making fun of my fucking colorblind issues. Bastards. You're going after the two colors I don't get. Red and green. Okay. Now I know it's fake, but he didn't think it used to do that. And at the end of the start screen, where a Charizard used flamethrower, commas are throwing me off, he noticed a gash. G is capitalized, oozing sickly red, comma, blood, comma, from one of its wings. You guys, blood. Some have suggested creating a drinking game for whenever blood comes up in a story, and apparently no one cares about their liver. Oh, but now let's get specific. It was the left wing. The little gash incident is followed up with, everything was normal except couldn't save. Not surprising. Now, what is surprising is that what you took from this bleeding Charizard thing is that, well, you know, things are okay, but no save. I'm not surprised. And this is, not surprisingly, followed up with, overwhelmed by the series of events. He shut it off, being paranoid ever since. Paranoid of what? You said you weren't surprised. You didn't react to the Charizard thing at all. Is playing video games this much of a taxing experience on you? Why do you do it? Great, the story keeps going. Awesome. A week passed that held nervous tension. He decided to start playing Silver once more. Again? Huh? The Oozgash was present and accompanied by the Charizard's eyes replaced by those of a milky light blue, almost like a blind person. Or the color silver. Get it? It's Pokemon Silver. Ghosts and shit. The game started, and the select screen portrayed a, hold on to your seats, save file. This story dares to go where none other story shall. In the boldest of directions. He highlighted it, you daredevil, and pressed it. No way in caps hell he was going to play it, though. Why would you buy a video game to play it? Assholes. But just to read the portrayed stats it gives you before starting. He set the console on his desk and examined it. What's with you in the word portray? And also, wouldn't you be able to see what's on the screen better if you held the Game Boy? Like a handheld console or something like that. I'm not a doctor. Or even really a professional of the video games, but it's just, that's my takeaway from it. Get a lamp behind you, get good experience. You get it. You know. They sell accessories. It's you guys get what I'm saying. They sell the little light things. This turned into endslate for a second. Sorry about that. I'm going off script. I'm sorry, guys. We're gonna continue. Me going off script. You can tell I'm rusty. But anywho, the top red player come play. Dash exclamation point. Yeah. But as starting up the game a week ago, only 8 characters were available. You guys scared yet? Cause he is. Cause he felt a cool sweat forming once more and his eyes and left hand twitched. For Christ's sakes, go to a doctor! Twitchy? Yeah! That's a good name. I like that. Twitchy. Tom's second cousin removed. Twitchy. Aw. I like this. Twitchy. New member of the family. But at the bottom of the name were tiny letters. He leaned forward and the screen flashed a seizure-inducing green. And a terrible dead zone glitch. A deep screech. Louder than loud. Oh, not louder than loud. He heard the noise and he screamed and he jumped, almost slapping the game away. Good thing he didn't. His heart racing in fear and distress. And damn right it is, that Game Boy could lunge at you at any moment. Then the game started on its own, which I thought it already was on, but we're just going to go with what you say. The screen continued forwarding the last destination of something or the other thing, but the game was picking a starter Pokemon all on its own. He reached out, shivering, and began playing. I thought you were playing it. Oh, but it was ridiculous to be scared of, he thought. The 3 Pokeballs on the table and Prof. Elm standing there, waiting, judging, twitching. He went to the ball containing Cyndaquil and pressed the command, and nothing was wrong with it! ... Thank God. Really. He approached his rival, who stands in the window of the lab. Hey, whatcha? Was all he said, because, you know, he's a prick. Gary, too. Not as good as the first. Can't beat him. His sprite looked to fall onto the ground, and it shook violently. He, trying to keep calm, cause oh shit, video games, we gotta do something, but stay calm, guys. Fuck! What were you doing? While staying calm, he lightly laughed. Never liked him anyway. You go, Twitchy. His sprite seemed to wheeze and cough, so he decided to leave him alone. Great. Someone's dying. I don't like it. Gotta go to this town over here and go see Mr. Pokemon. Sorry, guy. Anyways, he decided to leave him alone and walk into the tall grass, which takes up 85% of this world. It's just tall grass and Zubats, and they're everywhere, and it's a fucking nightmare. A Pokemon battle started, but nothing showed up, except it teleported him to Whirl's Island, where Lugia was. He spawned just to go into battle. His left hand and eye twitched more, twitchy, only having the Cyndaquil he picked the Cyndaquil, but he could only use Tackle. Of course, only 1 damage cost. Words popped up and read the following. Yay, here we go. That's cute. Get ready to be sent to hell. Yeah, you tell him, game. The game said the equivalent of no you. But Lugia used a move and knocked out Cyndaquil. Rather than spawning into a Pokemon Center, it put him back into the front of the lab in the beginning, where his rival was, rather than him glitching though. And the town covered in silvery fog was a splash of red blood. I think a word got lost somewhere in that sentence that made things not necessarily make that much sense. We're gonna move on though. Sweat dripped from his left and still twitching hand, twitchy. He shook it off just to see a small cut from his palm to his pinky knuckle. Wait, how did he do that? He threw the game onto the desk and ran to the bathroom and cleaned his wound. This is something beyond cursed, he said. And then I said sharp plastic because that's what I typed and it's right in front of me. He want to destroy the game and the console altogether. He mad. He walked into his garage and snatched a hammer. He threw the game outside. Good thing you got that hammer though. And then he struck the game down repeatedly on the ancients. Okay, that's where the hammer thing comes into play. Throwing it probably would have sufficed, or just hitting it with the hammer. You didn't have to do both, is what I'm ultimately trying to get across. But continuing with our fairy tale, still waiting for the plot to show up, drunk and hungover, both or something. Nothing but the pain in his hand happened. It was perfectly fine. Rather, he threw it against the wall. Still nothing. Only one thing left to do. So he retrieved the game and walked back into what the hell just happened. Oh God. I know it's early in the morning. This is a bad story. Fuck. But you know, let's break it down. You threw the game outside. You smashed it with a hammer while it was still outside. Then you threw your hand against the wall because you can't throw the game against the wall because you just smashed it outside. But you had to throw your hand because nothing but pain in your hand happened. And then you went outside and you got the smashed game, and now it's not smashed and you're going to play it again. Alright, everything makes sense. Let's keep going. He was just overreacting, though. Really? But still, curious. He looked at the screen. Hammer at ready. Best line in any story so far, and he studied it. His character was within the Poke Lab, and all around was pixel blood, as opposed to that other kind of blood. Few mangled bodies lie around the ground. Elm was the only thing, quote-unquote, alive. Even then, he saw his rival's chest torn open, entrails leaking out his body. Elm stood some feet away and said one thing. Silver, help us. That's 3 things, if we're going by words. But yes, Silver, help us. The plot came, but it's confusing, and it's loose cannon, and it's off the rails. You gotta do something. His sprite fell over and turned pale. A small pool of silver forming around his head. Lugia faded into view and almost repeated what he said before. Again. That's cute. ... Get ready to burn in Satan's enigma and yeehaw. Someone owns a dictionary. So do I, asshole. Stop showing off. His vision flashed silver and he screamed and ran into his room, grabbing the only gun he had, and he shot the game. And what the fuck? This story has to be fake. Well, I mean, yes, it's obviously it's fake in that sense, but I mean fake in the no one wrote this for it to be intentionally taken seriously. When a gun comes into play, or a doll, it's ruined. But 4 blaring shots echoing. He fired one last shot, and everything seemed to slow down. He could almost make out the bullet ricocheting into his eye, the left one. And look, 1, the Matrix. 2, what are you doing? You own a gun for some reason, so obviously you must know how to use it, and you, being a smart gun owner, quote-unquote, shoots a Game Boy cartridge, or the Game Boy, not actually sure. But you know, so far I'm with you. How did you shoot yourself in the eye, though? Also, that's what this has been leading up to, the big, oh, my eye is twitching! It's because I shot myself in the future. Yeah. Story is special. Before he fell to the ground, his vision flashed his life, words and sentences everywhere. Then was interrupted by a Pokemon text box. In quotations, I enjoy seeing you in pain. He thought he was dead. He thought he could be free. All from the, he's guessing, cursed game. And, you know you could just leave the house, and then you'd be away from the game, or you could throw it away, or smash it again. But it kind of seems like you're instigating this whole thing. You're like, no, I want more! Someone get my hammer! So really, this is all your fault. But he didn't die. Damn it. He woke up in a gurney, not on a gurney, in a gurney, within a hospital room. A woman who looked like Nurse Joy, a man who looked like Elm, another like his rival, who had froth pouring out of his mouth like bubbles, because he's a dog, apparently. But it looks like somebody went to an anime convention. They all had over-exaggerated, widened eyes that were glinted silver, and they had a wiry grin that seemed cracked and ripped, and they all spoke in unison, an echoey voice that seemed digital. Like when the file loaded itself, in quotation, Silver, save us. Ever since, they only stood there watching, his left hand and eye twitching. Never could he cry again. Oh, God, I have no idea what I just read. I clocked out at like halfway through, you guys. And I'm pretty much still clocked out, but hold on, because it's not over yet. There's an epilogue, which, you know, great. Closure. It's what the fans want. Now, dub Evangelion 3.33 Funimation, I love you. Epilogue. He found the game. He played the game. When he did, he saw a pale body of a figure with a swollen eye and a cut-up hand and a wiry smile. The cycle repeats forever. The end. Really, that's the end. Oh, but we have credits. Storyline by Chris Campbell and published by Nathan Melville. Information you probably shouldn't give out on a random wiki site. But that's Pokemon Wounded Silver, and fuck, it's terrible. I mean, Twitchy is a really compelling character from, like, a romantic perspective, but his story is horrible and disjointed and makes no sense, and you broke the game, but it came back and it cut your hand, and you shot it, and then yourself in the eye, and the cycle repeats. Much like with real life, as we count the days we have left, looking towards tomorrow, waiting to be reborn into the cycle of life. I learned so much from this story, and I think we all learned a valuable lesson here. The internet is a terrible place, and it should be destroyed. This has been Bullshit Creepypasta Storytime. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, Yuriofwind here, and you can probably hear my air conditioner, so I'm sorry about that, but it's hot. And welcome back to endslate. It's been like 3, maybe almost 4 weeks or some shit. It's been a while, you guys. We got to catch up, and the video was kind of long, so that means I can afford to make this a little long too. So let's bond, shall we? What you just watched was a bullshit creepypasta storytime on Pokemon Wounded Silver. I hope you enjoyed its most likely fakeness. That's gonna come out. It's fake. Of course, as always, with all endslates, I'm not scripting this. Some of that video, most of that video, I actually I went on tangents again. That you could tell I'm rusty because I haven't made a video in a while. So now I'm doing crazy stuff, and it's like I'll fuck up a line. It's like, no, it's great now. I love that. It's awesome. It's going. I don't want to re-record it. Anyways. Let's do some endslate things. Hey guys, do you like videos? I hope you like the one you just watched, by the way. I keep forgetting to say that. But I'll recommend some videos. First up, I'm gonna recommend the last video I did, whenever that was, and it was an obscure gaming on Dragon Ball Z Evolution for the PlayStation Portable. A good game that's surrounded by terrible things. And the other video I want to recommend is my review of Borderlands 2. I I am going to be doing more reviews in the future. I have multiple ones planned. One for next month, which is Fighting Game Month. Spoiler. Yeah. Fighting game videos all month. I can't wait, really. My Doctor Doom's gotten decent. But, yeah, I'll be doing reviews more often, so I want people to actually know I do those. Because I think some people might be unaware. You know, either way. I don't know. But those are the videos. And then at the bottom, if you like the video and the videos I make and you want to see the other videos I make in the future, you want to subscribe, that's cool. And if you know, if not, no hard feelings. If you like the video and you want to like it, that's cool. And if you don't, no hard feelings. Sorry, it's very late, but it's still very warm out. Now I'm gonna leave you kids, but before I go, I wanna give you guys a pearl of wisdom. 2 pearls of wisdom. 1, this doesn't have anything to do with the fucking... 3 things. 1, this doesn't have anything to do with the fucking video. 2, I just want to say these 2 other things. 1, in the new set of 2, I called that Xbox One thing. I knew they were going to backpedal, so yay me. And 2, Kingdom Hearts 3 was announced over the course of me not making videos, and that's awesome. And 3, because I'm adding another one, when someone doesn't make videos for a while, it doesn't mean they're dead. I feel like that's information that needs to get out there. Guys, I'm alive. I can prove it. Look at me. I'm brimming with energy and vigor. I'm so youthful. Look at my hair. You can't see it. You can see it in older videos, but that's all I had to say. This was endslate. Next time on endslate, who knows where these crazy roads are gonna take us? Probably another video or something. I think it's a gaming mysteries actually. So I'll see you there. You know, that's July. It's fighting game month. If you want to speculate what that's gonna be, so go ahead. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed the video and the whatnot. And this has been endslate. See you next time on endslate, guys.